Warning, this video is only for 18-year-olds that have a plant obsession. Nah, I'm kidding. Miss you, Jenna. So, it's been a while since I've done a plant tour. I believe last time I did it was in October on YouTube. So, let's do it again. So, let's start off on my nightstand. Here we have a Marantha Lucanora Cavalier. I don't know how to pronounce the last part of it, sorry. But what I like about this plant is the fact that it moves, and I like the patterns on its leaves. And these black spots here almost feel like velvet. I got this plant out of a local plant shop called the Mason Jar, which is in downtown Kalamazoo, so if you're ever in the Kalamazoo area, I highly recommend it. This here is a telegraph plant cutting I'm trying the root, so basically this is what happened. Last week, when I was filming a live stream for TikTok, one of my grow lights actually fell and broke my telegraph plant, like broke some of the branches off. So I decided to root one of them to see what happened, and as I'll show you in a minute, it actually rooted, so I'm rooting another one to see if I can propagate it as well. Speaking of propagations, we have some variegated Hindu rope cuttings right here, which I'm probably going to sell sometime in the future, hopefully, if I can get them to take off. Here we have Scindapsus pictus, which I got at the same plant shop as this Marantha here, which I also really like, because the foliage almost sparkles like silver or glitter, which I really think is cool, and I highly recommend it, especially for beginners, since it's really, really easy to take care of. Here's my other telegraph plant cutting. This is the one that fell off the plant when the grow light fell on it last week, and it rooted in only a week, believe it or not, which I think is faster than I ever could have imagined. So I didn't think that you could be propagated that fast, but turns out I was wrong. Back here, we have my Swedish ivy right here. Believe it or not, this is actually a clone of the plant that grows in the Oval Office of the White House, which is why I want it to survive. But it looks sickly now, so I pray to God it survives. And here's another Hindu rope cutting thing. Next up, we have my desk and shelf. Here's my Calathea Zabranica, which really needs a lot of water and help, but I hope it will recover because I'm going to give it water soon. It's literally just coming out of dormancy because it was once too big and bushy, but it died back, but it's still alive. So tip here, if you have a Calathea or Marantha and it dies back, don't throw it away because it might just be dormant. This sickly looking plant here is the oldest plant in my collection, and it's a Nepenthes ventricosa, or at least I think it's a ventricosa. It could be a Nepenthes jungle bell, if it's a Nepenthes Stevie Winters cross ventricosa, but I'm not 100% sure. I got at Lowe's back in 2017. Sorry if it doesn't look so good, I had it close to a heater, so I moved it away. This plant is really special because it was my first plant. Here we have a philodendron Birkin I got at the same plant shop as my Scindapsus pictus and my Marantha Lucanora rabbit's foot. Here's a Raven ZZ propagation that's taking off a little bit. Like I planted this cutting back in September and it's just now taking off. If you get a Raven ZZ cutting, you have to have a lot of patience because these plants can take months to get off the ground. Here's my Marantha Lucanora red, and like my Calathea Zabranica right here, it also died back, but it's also coming back. Which is why, again, don't throw away your Calathea or Maranthas that die back because they could just be dormant. Here's a Calathea that I really like called Calathea Dottie. I really like it because it's a black coloration that almost reminds me of a pink princess philodendron. Which is why if you can't afford a pink princess philodendron, I highly recommend this plant if you have the skill. Back there, I have a carambola or starfruit seedling that I grew from seed. That I think is pretty cool. I like how the leaves move as well. Like they close down slightly, kind of like a sensitive plant, but the fruit it grows is actually edible, and I actually tried it because I'm actually have a phobia of fruit, but I tried it and I thought it was good and I should try it again. Here's an Alocasia Black Velvet I got at the same plant shop, the Mason Jar, as my other plants, a lot of my other plants. And there's a Peperomia that I forget the name of that I got at the same plant shop as that Alocasia. Here's my philodendron Micans and my Pofo Cebu Blue, which I got at a plant swap several months ago. Like, they barely grow on at all. But they're beginning to grow a little bit, so I still have hope for them. So please grow and don't die on me. I really like you guys. Here's a bird's nest fern that I got, like, at that Mason Jar plant shop place. And I pray to God it's not dying, but I need to give it a little more water. Like, trust me, when you have 80 plus plants, it's hard to water all of them, trust me. Here's the Calathea Lanthifolia and the Philodendron Macaulay Finale, both of which I really like. Here are some string of hearts that I got at the same plant shop as my Philodendron Micans and my Cebu Blue Pothos. They're also beginning to glow, like they grew slowly for a long time, but I gave them more light and now they're growing a lot faster. So hopefully they can keep that up and they'll be bushier this summer. Here's a Desert Rose here, a Desert Rose Plum Beauty, and a Lifesaver plant here as well. I got both of these from Logi's, which is the place I highly recommend if you're into plants. Here's an echeveria my grandmother got me. Like, she got for me for Christmas just a few weeks ago. I had a late Christmas because I had the virus, like, over Christmas break. So I couldn't really celebrate Christmas with my extended family. And here's the succulent arrangement that I really need help. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it, but it really needs help for all eye care. And now we're gonna move on to the shelves and the window and the floor. Here's the Calathea rubifolia, which is coming back. Like I said before, don't throw away your Calathea that died back, which is why I'm keeping this Calathea white fusion that also died back, because I hope that will eventually return from the roots. Here's my parlor palm. Like, these plants should be easy, but I haven't given it much love because it's just a parlor palm. Like, trust me, it's hard. You have to pick favorites when you have as many plants as me. And this plant here, it's still growing, so this leaf here looks really green, so I have hope for it still. Here's an orchid cactus right here, and a succulent arrangement here. And here's I think this is some kind of Dichambachia, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. Here's another Calathea lanthifolia, and here's my sickly Pilea peperomoides, that I don't know why it died back, but it has a lot of new growth, so I'm not throwing it away. Here was a spider plant, but it appears to be dying too, so I'm probably gonna throw it away soon. Like, sorry I have so many dead plants. It's kind of hard in the winter with 80 plants when your room doesn't get a lot of natural light. Here's my peppermint candy croniforms I got from Logi's, which is a plant shop I highly recommend for anyone who's looking for rare plants. And here's another spider plant that I hope survives. I got this one at a plant swap too. It's not variegated, which I think is pretty cool because I almost never see those plants in cultivation. Here's my shrimp plant right here that needs a lot of light. And then here's my Justina Janet Craig, which I got from an arrangement from my aunt after I got hit by a truck a few years ago. My ZZ plant that I got from Menards. And here's my Thanksgiving cactus that needs to be repotted and watered. But hopefully I can get to that soon. This area right here is what I like to call the succulent corner because there are so many succulents here. Here's some kind of euphorbia along with, I forget this kind, and I think that's a bear paw succulent there in this arrangement. There's some kind of pilea right there that was dying for a while, but it's coming back, so I have hope for it. There's a variegated oxton in this arrangement, as well as a Haworthia cooperi. I have a bigger one I'm about to show you. A Euphorbia triangularis, another euphorbia, and some cactus that's probably going to need removed, and an air plant, and some dancing bones cactus as well, and some wash plant that I need to remove as well. Here's that starfish or caron flower plant that produces a really weird flower that smell like caron but look like starfish. This is that kind of succulent here, but it hasn't flowered for me yet. Like, I got this at Waddell's, which is another local nursery in my area, in the Kalamazoo area. And it hasn't flowered for me yet, but this one was huge, so I couldn't pass up on it. And I think I got it for like $75 if I remember correctly. Back there, I have a parlor palm that's probably gonna bite the dust soon, or already has bit the dust, as well as a desert rose. Like, this one is called Black. I think it's Black something. I forget the cultivar name exactly. Let me check. It's Goodnight Desert Rose, which produces almost black flowers. I haven't seen it flower yet, but when it does, I've seen pictures of it, and it looks really cool. And there's a sundew that I hope comes back. It died back because it was too close to a heater in my grow tent, which I'm about to show you. And I just moved my succulent arrangement, that thing there. Here's an angel's trumpet right here that's growing back from the stem. I cut it back because the top died, but it's growing back. Then it likes cooler temperatures, so hopefully it will like it here. A sensitive plant that I pray to God comes back. And then there's this begonia, I forget the name of it, but what I like about it is how the leaves change color, depending on how the light hits them. They can be like dark green or red, depending on how the light hits them. And I like the spots on the leaf that sparkle, similar to a Scindactis pictus, which I think is pretty cool. Here's my variegated Hoya carrii that I also got from Logi's a few years ago. Don't mind the other pot with the name Vandersons. That's a local nursery. I got that pot from a plant that died a long time ago. And I had to repot because they keep falling over. And back there, I have a Sansevieria cylindrica I also got from the mason jar, a Cephalotus I got from California Carnivores, which is a carnivorous plant nursery I recommend. I even know the owners of it, like I talked to them on Instagram and Facebook multiple times. And here's my variegated Hindu rope plant, and guess how much I got this plant for? Like, it's the parent plant, the ones I showed you back there, but guess how much I got this for? I got it at Meijer for, believe it or not, $10.99 or $10.90 or something like that, which I think is a complete steal for a 6-inch pot like this. Judging by how like 2.5-inch pots of this plant go for like $50 on Etsy. Right here we have my golden pothos and my Dracaena marginata here. This was also in an arrangement, but it has taken off since I moved it out of that arrangement, and this was just a cutting I got from my mom's friend. Here's a fiddle leaf fig that needs love and a monstera that needs love. I got that one from Costa Farms on Amazon, but it's bigger than it was, so it's still gonna get better, especially in the summer. And my fiddle leaf fig I got I think 2 years ago, and I'm sorry about all the fertilizer. I've done too much in it, but in mistake we were to skip what I was doing for my TikTok. Link in the description for my TikTok if you're interested. And now for the moment you all been waiting for, the grow tent, aka the place where I pretty much expose myself for being a bad plant parent. So this is my grow tent here, which I'm sorry if some of the plants look bad. I might not be the best plant parent, but I'm improving. So let's get started. This here is what I like to call the shelf of death, because so many plants here have died because of the heater right there, which I really need to move my plants away from that heater. And there are some telegraph plants, and I grew some seeds right there. And another one I'm growing some seeds there, and a somewhat mature telegraph plant right here where the propagation, the cuttings came from. I moved it in here. Here are two Nepenthes cross Mirandas. This one I got 2 years ago off Amazon, and this one right here I got 2 months ago from a local nursery called Vandersalms, which I really like. This here is my mom's Wandering Jew. It's her pride and joy, so I really have to keep it alive, even though if it is looking sickly, I have to water it. I need to care for my plants more. Not my plants, I need to care for my mom's plants more than my plants, because a lot of her plants are really important, and she accuses me of neglecting them, which sometimes I do with so many plants, but she literally often threatens to expose me on social media, even though I have already exposed myself 1,000 times. This here is called a miracle fruit plant, which in the summer it should produce gumdrop-sized red berries that when you eat them it makes things that taste sour and bitter taste really sweet, and makes things that taste already sweet much unbearably sweet. So I can't wait to try it in the summer. Down there, I have a Nepenthes ventrata that I got from Waddell's as well, which is another local nursery 2 years ago, but it's still alive, even though I haven't given it much water for some reason. But if it's alive, it's going to be okay, especially when I move it outside in the summer. Here's my Ficus elastica that was in an arrangement that I got, the same arrangement I got from my aunt after I got hit by my car a few years ago, and it has taken off since I removed it. Especially over the summer, but over the winter it has stopped growing, but that should be normal, especially since it is getting a lot of water, and a lot of plants go dormant in the winter. Here's the vanilla orchid I got from Logi's that's dying for some reason, but hopefully it will come back because I see new shoots on it. Here's an Nepenthes sabuensis cross truncata that looks like it's about to have a leaf jump, and it should produce massive pitchers when mature. I got this one from Carnivoro, which I think is a really good nursery if you're into carnivorous plants. I would check them out if I were you. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow my other social medias for more. Links for them will be in the description of this video for my TikTok and my Instagram.